Sim racing on a budget, is it possible? Well, we're determined to find out. We're always obsessed about sort of the real entry-level side of the sim racing ecosystem. I think Sam, professional karter here, it's fair to say that we still feel comfortable on the beginner side. This Sam's first time on ACC, by the way, first time on Moza equipment. This video is sponsored by GT Mega. We're using the GT Mega wheel stand here. This is entry level. It doesn't get any more entry level than this. And we're going to explain how we put it together, any things you should watch out for. But yeah, big thanks to GT Mega for sponsoring this video. Go check out gtmega.com. You get 5% off everything at GT Mega, from the wheel stand all the way up to the Beastly Prime and Prime Light. So I'm going to explain, while Sam is doing his first ever race on ACC here, I'm going to explain what we've got. So we're starting with a GT Mega wheel stand. This is basically this frame. It has a plate on the top where you can mount or clamp your wheels. So we've mounted the Moza base here with just 2 bolts. So it's just 2, I think, M5 bolts going up, and it's, you can look at it. I mean, it's the terms of the mounting on the plate is rock solid. And then on the bottom here, there's a pedal plate, and here we've mounted entry-level Moza SRP pedals. Basically, the cheapest pedals you can get with a load cell. I think they're about £150. By the way, the Moza pedals and the Moza base was gifted to us by Moza, Spring Sense Moza. You can see we haven't done a great job of cable management, but you can if you want to Velcro all the cables and everything like that. I'm going to talk about the wheel, and then I'll let Sam know what he thinks about it. So something that isn't really entry level on the front is the Moza FSR wheel, which is basically the nicest wheel that Moza do. But you can actually put any Moza wheel on there, including the entry level CS rim and the rims like that. So and this is the Moza R9 base, but it's very similar to the Moza R5. Whenever the Moza R3 comes out, this setup will work like that as well. Sam, enough of me talking. This is... Talk about your setup at home, too. You're using Fanatec.
So yes, I'm using the Fanatec CSL 2.5, which is a belt drive.
Yeah.
I've got Fanatec V3 pedals.
Nice pedals.
Very nice pedals. I'd like to upgrade the wheelbase.
Yep.
Moza is something I have looked at and considered. So it's nice to actually be trying this, but it feels really nice, like going from a belt drive to a direct drive.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot more fine details you can pick up in the steering.
We'll talk about pros and cons. So pros here is, like you said, if you're someone who's looking to get into a direct drive system, this allows you to mount a direct drive. So if you've wondered whether you always need a big, one of those big extrusion rigs for direct drive, it's not the case. This is the R9. I wanted to put a relatively powerful DD on here to kind of see whether it works or not. So that's a good sign. The con, I would say, from what I'm seeing, is there's definitely more flexing than you get in aluminium.
There is definitely flex going on, but it's not horrendous.
From what I'm seeing, there isn't a huge amount of up-down flex, which is the one I would be really concerned about. There's a little bit of sort of side to side.
Yeah. Ooh, change gear. It's this way.
Yeah.
Not this way.
Which I think is what you want, really. You don't want the up and down. That's not great. The side to side is sort of actually, when I'm driven a real GT3, you're kind of moving around the car like that. The pedals, I'm very interested to see.
The pedals feel actually really nice.
I thought this is where this would fall down, actually, the setup, in terms of you be lifting up on the chair. This is quite a big, heavy chair, but it's just a normal chair. It's not a fancy chair. And the pedals, you've got a load on there. So a little tip, what we did do, as Sam just exploring the gravel trap there, just seeing what the grip is like in ACC, is we did calibrate the pedals that we didn't need to push them all the way, which just made it a little bit easier. So I think the more, if you try and push it all the way, then you might start moving around a bit. The throttle is absolutely fine. And by the way, the more basic pedals you're using, the less you're going to need to worry about it moving about, because you're going to be applying less pressure. Again, I wanted to show you a load cell here.
Just from my point of view here, these pedals actually feel really smooth. Like they're not notchy. To actually put my foot down on the throttle is nice and smooth. It doesn't feel like there's any real major issues pushing them backwards and forwards.
I've just realised, Sam, I've got some Logitech G923 pedals here that I've tangled in cables because I think they're already connected, ready to go. Ugh.
And I've killed myself.
Don't worry, I've distracted everyone.
Yeah, we'll blame you.
So these are Logitech G923 pedals, and these won't have anywhere near the resistance of a load cell.
I think going by the throttle, even the throttle pedal will be really heavy, I reckon, on on
The
the Logitech,
G9
yes. Whereas these pedals here actually feel really nice. There's no movement in the wheelbase, the wheel stand on the pedals at all. It's just, like we said, the side to side. But that's not really an issue because you're turning into it anyway.
Yeah, again, I was a little bit cynical, to be honest, about how these pedals can do because they look so basic. To be honest, they look they're not hidden behind anything. They don't have any covers. It's a really simple construction. But I think we've actually, to be honest, stumbled across quite a nice setup here that you could go and race and be competitive in.
I mean, like I said, I've never played this game here before, so I am learning as I'm going along. Same with the whole Moza ecosystem. I've never used it before.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting around brilliantly, but you can see I can get around comfortably around. It does help that I know the layout.
Yeah.
But I am getting round, and it's definitely, I mean, the wheel stand is definitely good enough for this. 100%.
I can tell you for sure, if the setup wasn't right, you would be going deep into the gravel every corner, and you'd be struggling to control oversteer. Like this is Sam's driving a GT3's P19 out of 29 in this race, so he's in the mid pack, his first time. And I'm just looking at his setup, and actually I do think it looks like a good setup. What would I improve on this? Arguably, Sam, I would be tempted to run this at less force feedback.
Yeah.
And I'd also wouldn't, I don't know, like, the loss of a load cell here wouldn't be a killer either. Because basically the less pressure you're putting on the setup, the more happy it's going to be. As you start to apply more pressure, that's when you're going to start to see the limitations of the flex, and that's when you want to go to the prime, for example. I
mean, I just had a massive, as I've gone really super deep again, massive snapper oversteer, and there was no, I would still be able to control it.
Yeah. Oh goodness, I think you were definitely turned in on there. This is an area brand such I didn't even know existed. So very nice to see. But there we go. I mean, we wanted to show you a budget rig and show that it's possible. This is where I grew up really. I was on my play seat for years and years and years and racing in top split. So it is possible. Let us know if you've got any questions or comments. I do have discount codes for GT Mega. I've also got, I think, a referral code from Moza. So do go check those out. But we'll see you in the next video.